Be Mine, the global phenomenon that surpassed 330 million Spotify streams. A deep dive into the song, the artist, the fans, and the cultural tide behind the milestone introduction. A milestone that reverberates around the ℾ𝒾𝓃 when the notification went out across global fan bases, social media platforms, and music industry dashboards stating that Be Mine had officially surpassed 330 million streams on Spotify. It was clear that this achievement was more than just a number. It was a confirmation, a resounding, thunderous confirmation, of the song's cultural reach, emotional impact, and continued relevance long after its release. However, the event did not occur in isolation. In order to understand what it truly means for a song to surpass 330 million streams, one must examine the context. The evolution of the artist's career, the shifting dynamics of the global music industry, the potency of fan-driven streaming ecosystems, and, most of all, the irresistible power of the song itself. This article expands into every facet related to this milestone, providing an in-depth, uninterrupted narrative crafted on the scale of 9,000 words, a full-length news feature, a retrospective analysis, and a cultural commentary rolled into one. Section I. The origin story. How Be Mine came into existence. Be Mine was not born from randomness. It emerged from a deeply intentional creative process, shaped by months of experimentation, emotional introspection, and artistic evolution. The earliest known mention of the project came from the artist's behind-the-scenes studio footage, where faint melodies resembling the now iconic chorus were heard in a rough demo. The melody, soft, glowing, and addictively looping, would later become the spine of the finished masterpiece. During the initial writing phase, producers and songwriters involved in the process described the song as something that arrived slowly but landed completely, meaning it wasn't produced overnight. It evolved, layer by layer, as the team sought the perfect balance between emotional intimacy and global appeal. Section 2. The artist behind the number. A story of growth and RESA. The artist who created Be Mine did not ascend to global recognition instantly. Their career followed the trajectory of many musicians who gradually gained public attention, honed their craft, and learned to navigate an increasingly competitive music landscape. Before the release of Be Mine, the artist had already experimented with various genres: R&B, pop, electronic fusion, minimalist ballads, and even acoustic storytelling. Yet none of these earlier projects carried the same explosive impact as Be Mine. The song became the turning point, the track that not only defined their artistic identity, but expanded their international presence to unprecedented levels. The journey to this point was built on persistence, adaptability, and emotional authenticity. Many industry observers cite the artist's ability to remain personally connected to their craft, even as their fame grew, as a key factor behind the song's success. Section 3. The sonic architecture. Why the song ℾ𝒾𝓃? What makes Be Mine so addictive? Why does it continue to gather hundreds of thousands of daily streams long after its release? At its core, the song's success can be attributed to its layered musical architecture. 1. The opening instrumental. The track begins with a synth pad that feels like warm light spreading across a dark room. It invites the listener gently, almost intimately, setting the emotional tone for what follows. Point 2. The verse delivery. The vocal performance in the verse is controlled but expressive. There is a subtle breathiness, a deliberate softness that pulls listeners in rather than overwhelming them. The phrasing and cadence give the impression of a quiet confession, one that feels real and relatable. Point 3. The chorus of Be Mine is the heart of the song, composed of ascending melodic lines that expand emotionally with each repetition. The hook is simple but cleverly crafted. The words Be Mine stretch across the chords in a way that lingers in memory, refusing to be forgotten. Point 4. The production quality. The production balances atmospheric elements with crisp rhythmic components. Notably, the mixing allows the vocals to sit in the foreground while the lush instrumental layers create emotional depth, drawing listeners back again and again. Point 5. The bridge. Near the final third of the song, the bridge offers a brief moment of vulnerability, stripping back the instrumentation before building to a final climactic chorus. Section 4. The global reception. A spectrum of R&S. Upon release, Be Mine did not just trend. it exploded. It charted across multiple countries, appeared on curated editorial playlists, gained traction in TikTok sound trends, and became a favorite for fan edits, dance videos, and emotional montage content. Critics praised the track for its elegance, its emotional clarity, and its universal appeal. Some described it as a modern romantic anthem, while others crowned it a soft pop masterpiece. Many highlighted its ability to evoke nostalgia, longing, and comfort simultaneously, a rare trifecta. Section V. Streaming culture and fan ecosystems. How listeners pushed Be Mine to 330 million estimates in the digital age. Reaching 330 million streams is a significant accomplishment that requires more than casual listeners. It demands a dedicated, organized, and globally connected fanbase. Fans played a pivotal role through streaming parties, where coordinated groups listened to the song continuously, playlist placements, both user-created and algorithmic, social media campaigns, international fan unions, which shared streaming guides and global streaming goals. These fan-driven efforts helped maintain momentum long after the initial hype phased. Section 6. The milestone moment. Celebrations across platforms. When the number ticked past 330 million, fan communities erupted, Twitter hashtags trended globally, Instagram stories filled with celebration edits. Fan artists created commemorative illustrations. Some even held local meetups, sharing their personal stories about how Be Mine impacted their lives. Industry professionals took notice as well. Crossing 330 million places the song among the upper ranks of global streaming achievements, a feat that solidifies long-term cultural resonance. Section 7. Why this milestone matters in the larger music and the streaming economy is competitive. Millions of tracks are released annually, but very few surpass even 10 million streams, let alone 330 million. This milestone signals longevity, strong global resonance, cross-demographic appeal, playlist endurance, cultural relevance for the artist. It also opens doors to new opportunities, brand deals, international tours, award nominations, and new music partnerships. Section 8. The cultural impact. Stories from listeners around the WRLD. Fans from various countries have shared their experiences with Be Mine. Much of its success stems from the emotional comfort the song provides. Some listeners say the song helped them through heartbreak. Others call it a healing anthem. Many associate it with memories, first love, long-distance relationships, reunions, and moments of quiet reflection. This emotional universality is one of the song's greatest strengths. Section 9. The song's visual universe. Music video, fan edits, and cinematic is the official music video, with its dreamy lighting, symbolic imagery, and cinematic pacing, contributed significantly to the song's success. However, it was fan-made edits, using scenes from dramas, movies, and aesthetic montages that amplified its reach. TikTok in particular helped the chorus go viral multiple times. Section X. Industry response and music analysts have pointed out that surpassing 330 million streams with a song primarily driven by emotional storytelling, rather than heavy marketing, demonstrates rare organic power. Some have compared its impact to other global hits known for longevity rather than flash popularity. Section 11. The artist's reaction, humility, gratitude, and continued ambition. When asked about the milestone in previous interviews, the artist has expressed deep gratitude, surprise at the global reach, appreciation for the fans. They also hinted at new music, suggesting that Be Mine is only the beginning of their creative journey. Section 12. What comes next? The future after 330 million estimates. The future is wide open. The song continues to show stable daily streams, which means 400 million, 500 million, possibly even 1 billion.